Hi, so I'm going to be talking about theory and for Module 2. So there are two different approaches when talking about theory. One's going to be objective, where truth is singular and can be observed. It's usually supported by empirical evidence. And the second is interpretive, where truth has multiple meanings and we assign meaning to that truth. All of the theories that we studied over the semester fell under one of these approaches. So a personal experience is I've had conversations with a friend about free will. I've had multiple conversations with friends about free will, actually. One of my friends had a really interesting idea on free will. So he is religious and he believes that God does determine our paths. However, he finds that there is a balance between what God gives us, or the path that God has determined for us or has for us, and us getting to choose our paths. So his thoughts is that yes, God gives us options A, B, and C, and then our free will gets to determine whether we go down option A, B, or C. And then once we choose that option, then God gives us more options. And that's how, he's guiding us towards this path. And based off of what we choose to decide, or what we decide to choose, is what determines, what his next steps are. So I thought it was really interesting that one kind of played into the other. It was a very balanced approach to the idea. And so if you think about life in general in this aspect, if you're religious or not, that, a higher power, God, Buddha, whatever it is you believe, that they lay out one path for you and you get to choose whether you go down that path or not. I feel like that's a pretty balanced approach. Because when you're trying to make a decision about what you should do, whether it's a massive life decision, or a little life decision, sometimes being objective is really hard because being objective makes things easier because you're only looking at, scientific data or, numbers. Is it logical? So that can be easy. However, when your emotions play a role, and emotions play a role in everything, that the decision process becomes harder to interpret. So I feel like looking at this and saying, well, whatever is giving me a choice between the 3 or 4, whatever decisions they are, that you still have a little bit of control to create your own destiny. Going forward, I know that having a working understanding about how theories work can help when you're trying to negotiate a disagreement between two parties, whether it's between you and another person or you're negotiating between two people. I think it will help us in understanding, in coming to an understanding or an agreement or a compromise or whatever, because then you can kind of ask yourself, is the person or the people I'm dealing with, are they guided more by their emotions, or they're being guided more by logic? And I think that could really help play a role into helping you lead a better life, be able to communicate better in the future. One thing that kind of really reminded me of my dad in this is that he used to always tell me as a kid, you can't logic your way through emotion. I think that's a pretty well-known quote. I don't know who said it. I've never really thought about it, but my dad used to tell me that all of the time whenever I was trying to make a decision, that I couldn't base a logical decision off of what my heart was telling me or my emotions or anything like that. So I feel like that was a very good summary, or a very good quote to summarize this chapter.